Good morning, everybody. My name is Chief Thomas Harden, Houston Police Department, over Patrol Region 1. I'm here with Commander Cheney with our Vehicular Crimes Division. We're out here this morning at Tidwell and, at West Little York and Fairbanks, North Houston. We had a accident between one of our on-duty patrol cars and a private citizen. The facts as we know them right now, again, it's preliminary information, and we'll get more information as the day and the weeks go on, but our preliminary information right now is one of our One Safe Houston overtime units was out in the area doing some proactive policing, ran a license plate, recognized the last name and the address on the vehicle as potentially being involved in a prior catalytic theft case from a couple months ago. Vehicle turns around, gets behind the vehicle pulls into an old folks home or a senior living facility. Our officer drives past. The vehicle turns around, comes back out, which he found to be suspicious. Suspect vehicle does a U-turn and runs a red light. Our officer then goes to initiate a traffic stop for running the red light. The vehicle pulls over. Our officer gets out and approaches, and as he approaches, the suspect won't roll his windows down, asks him to roll his windows down a couple times, and then the suspect takes off running, flees in the vehicle. Our officer, that was at 1:01 a.m. when he stopped the car. Vehicle takes off. Our officer gets behind it. Pursuit ensues. He calls out on the radio, and the pursuit leads us. It's a 6-minute pursuit. Officer is still by himself. Backup units had not arrived yet, and the pursuit led to this intersection of West Little York and Fairbanks, North Houston. Our officer was westbound. The suspect and our officer were westbound on Tidwell. The private citizen was northbound, and they collided in the intersection. Our officer's vehicle, thankfully our officer is mostly okay, is a little banged up. The private citizen was a 53-year-old Hispanic female. She was transported to Bentop Hospital. She was awake and alert and talking to our officers and complaining of abdominal pain at the hospital.
What about the suspect that got away?
Yes, ma'am. Well, our officer was by himself, and as soon as we had an accident, he was much more concerned about the citizen than the suspect.
Well, what can people be on the lookout for?
So we're going to follow up on the suspects today. I'm not going to give a vehicle description out right now. I don't want to jeopardize the investigation, but we will be looking for those individuals today.
Was the suspect in the process of stealing a catalytic converter?
No, ma'am. At the time, the vehicle was just traveling on public streets when he ran the license plate, and as I said, the investigation started. That's just what alerted him to being the car being suspicious.
Any reason why he pulled into a senior living facility, or just?
I would be speculating, but my thought would be, since he eventually ran from us, he was probably trying to dodge the marked unit.
Was there only one suspect in that vehicle, or were there several?
So the windows never came down and the door never came open, so we're not sure. The driver's window came down partially, so he could just see the eyes of the driver, and then he took off. So we can't say how many people were in the car.
But it was a man driving.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So the officer had lights and sirens and all that on it.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
How is the innocent driver, the female, doing? I know you said she was taken to a hospital, abdominal pain, but no life-threatening injuries?
No, it doesn't appear so at this time. I haven't had contact with him in the last probably 30 minutes, so we'll find out more as the day goes on from the doctors.
Do you know how fast they were going?
I do not. No, ma'am. That'll be part of the investigation as we look into it.
Your overall thought on what happened out here? I mean, this could have ended really badly, but it seems like both the officer made it out okay, even though his patrol car caught fire and this innocent driver didn't sustain any life-threatening injuries.
Yes, ma'am. So we're always, traffic collisions is a violent incident for everybody, right? And we're always thankful when the injuries can be as minor as possible. Right? It could always be worse, just depending on the impact and the speeds, and we're just thankful that right now both parties appear to be okay.
How old is the officer? What can you tell us about the officer?
He's a 33-year-old male, third year on the police department, works for our North Hotspot unit.
Can you talk about the officer, just hearing a little bit of the information, obviously the collision happened, patrol caught fire, went a far distance, but then managed to, it seemed like, get out and go help the female immediately?
Yes, ma'am. That was his primary concern as soon as they had the accident, was the safety of the citizen that he had the accident with. He's a little shaken up, want to make sure she was okay, but he's thankful so far. It appears that she's all right.
And there was a bit, Houston Fire came out, can you talk about that? There was an extraction that happened to get her out.
So after the impact, our vehicle caught on fire. So whatever it was about the impact that caused that, so our police car burned up. Our officer was able to get out And our officers with HPD were able to get her out through the door.
So did the impact push your officer's patrol car all the way over to the parking lot from the intersection?
Yes.
Was he running a red light at the intersection at the time when the crash happened?
We don't know that at this time. That'll be part of the investigation. We're getting his body-worn camera footage. His camera is damaged, so we can't look at it on the scene. We hope we can look at it when we put it into the cloud. We'll be able to see it then, but we can't. The device we normally look at the body-worn cameras on the scene, it's not working right now because of the damage to the camera. So that'll be part of the investigation with the surveillance cameras and his body-worn camera. We'll figure it out from there.
Last thing for me, obviously you're bringing up the catalytic converter situation. I feel like in the news we've been talking about that all the time. It's an issue. A lot of people reporting it, and this just happened to be a part of that in a way. But I mean, is that something you guys are seeing a rise in?
Yes, ma'am. There is a rise in it for sure, and it's driven by the rising price of the precious metal that's in the catalytic converters. So it's a profitable crime for these folks, and we put as many of them in jail as we can, as often as we can, and whether they stay there or not, it's outside of our control. But we're going to keep working the problem, and it's something that we're very aware of, and we're addressing as best we can.
When you say he was involved in a different theft recently,
So I just want to clarify that's what brought the officer's suspicion to the vehicle. So the last name registered on the vehicle and the location that the vehicle was registered to matched an investigation, some arrests we had a couple months ago out here. That's what initially triggered the suspicion to him.
so this gentleman was arrested.
No, ma'am. First of all, we don't know who's driving the car.
So the car is attached to an arrest that was made?
The last name and the location the vehicle is registered to matched some of the suspects in a previous investigation. That's what it was. Anybody else? Okay, thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Sir.
Appreciate it.